What's going on, everybody? Today we are going to be painting up the 7-inch shad glide bait. This is one you can get from Barlow's Tackle. As I had mentioned in the last video where I did painting one of these are a bit heavier, so if you're fishing real shallow water, it might sink faster than what you want, but I will have them linked down in the description below if you guys want to pick some up for yourself. Now, today's paint job I'm very excited about. I have done this pattern several times as a short, but I've never done it as a full-length video, nor have I done it on a bait this big. And that is the zombie pattern. Now, I'm not a big zombie guy. I'm not really into zombie movies or shows or anything like that, but for some reason, doing this paint job, I always have fun with it, and I always think it looks killer at the end. Literally killer. Oh boy. I am going to try something new today. Again, with this pattern, I don't usually do any scale work on the side of the bait, but since this one's so wide, I'm kind of worried it might look a little bland. So we're going to try shooting some pearlized silver over top of our base colors with a scale netting and see how that looks on this bait. First thing I'm going to do is be doing a base coat of white because our first base layer of color is going to be a very bright color. So in order to get it to be really vibrant, we need a solid white background. So I'm just going to be shooting some opaque white through the airbrush, and we'll give the whole bait a nice base coat in that. All right, we got our base coat of white laid down barely. I don't know if you guys can tell. For some reason, I just got done painting about 4 other baits and didn't have issues. Then started running that white through it. I've had this tube of white paint for a while, so I don't know if it's gone bad or I need to try to strain it or something like that. But it's been giving me issues, so hopefully the rest of these colors go good. Next color we're going to be doing is going to be the fluorescent yellow, and we're going to be covering all of the white in that color. Now, the yellow is a pretty thin color, so it might take 2 coats to get a proper full mixture. The good thing, if you're doing a zombie pattern, is if you mess anything up, it's okay because the fish is dead. It's supposed to look messed up. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw down our fluorescent yellow. Alright, gonna hit this with the hairdryer because I got it layered on there pretty thick, and then we'll go ahead and do another light coat. Alright, with our yellow done, next we're going to take some fluorescent orange, and we're going to be covering the bottom of the bait. Now, normally I'd flip these over on the helping hands, but I don't really have a good way of holding the bait upside down with the helping hand. So I'm just going to hold it in my hand, because what we're going to be doing with the orange is just covering all the way from the bottom of the mouth all the way to the back of the tail in that orange. Trying to keep it pretty well centered on the belly of the bait. I'm gonna go ahead and hit that with the hairdryer real quick. think I am on this one gonna fade it just a little bit on the side. Pretty juicy. Back onto the helping hands. All right, next up is going to be an iridescent green, and we're going to be spraying this all along the back of the bait and kind of having it fade, I don't know, somewhere just above where the center line of the bait would be. Again, I've never done this pattern on this big of a bait. It's usually a really small bait, so I keep it centered just on the back, but we got a lot more canvas here, so I'm gonna go ahead and carry it down the side of the bait. Somewhere right in there we'll fade it. I'm gonna hit some on the tail as well. And I think we'll hit up on the gill plate and around the eye. All right, I'm gonna call that good there. Next up, we're going to be spraying that pearlized silver I had talked about at the beginning of the video. This is a new variation of this pattern. I have not done this yet, so we are experimenting today. I don't have a whole lot of massive stencils, but thankfully I do have this little piece right here, which I'm not sure where this one came from. I think it used to be a bag at some point. But I'm just going to put the bait inside. There we go. So I think I got that on there pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and get that silver loaded up in the airbrush, and we're going to be covering the whole side of the bait. I'm gonna kind of ignore the gill plate and then try to have it fade just a little bit there towards the belly. All right, and before I'm flipping this over to do the other side, I'm gonna go ahead and hair dry it, because sometimes when the baits are this big or they have a joint, it might flop or move a little bit, and I don't want that to scratch our scales we just sprayed. So we'll hair dry it, flip it over, and spray the other side in the silver. Yes, sir. See? I told you. Nothing to worry about. Yeah, that looks pretty sharp. I'm really happy with that. Giant bait. Got a little silver in there. Folks, this might be a cool looking fishing lure when we're done. Next step is going to be the fun step. I gotta clean out the airbrush and grab a couple things, so I'll be right back. Alright, up next we're going to be doing some blood splatter and blood painting with the Candy 2O, and this is blood red, and it also says to mix it with a 40-30 balancing clear. So I finally got a proper mixing cup and a proper stir stick, folks. I've been doing this a long time and I've never had such nice equipment. So we're gonna see how this works. I haven't tried this yet, but cool part is the little pour spout to be able to get it into the airbrush a lot easier. And of course a smaller mixing bowl. Normally I was using cups like these, so way bigger, and it's hard to get it, or it's hard to get your airbrush paint into the airbrush if you're only mixing up a little bit amount. So what I'm gonna do is add some of the blood red to our little container here. And when it says blood red, it really looks blood red. This is one of my favorite, I would say specialty color. It's not one that you're using all the time, but super cool color. Add some 40-30 balancing clear to the mix. Wow, look at that. That's kind of cool looking. I don't know if the camera will focus on that. Oh, it's starting to go away. There we go. Doesn't that look cool? All right, with our blood red, and I'm trying to figure out how to do this with such a big bait. What I normally will do is I'll have the bait held like this, and then I like to just drip the paint onto it and let it run wherever it wants to go. But this bait is so big that I don't have a really great way, maybe this will do it, of holding the bait up like that. Well, that might work. There we go. I think as long as I put a paper towel down here. All right, I think we got it. Your view up there is gonna suck, but I'll set my phone up over on the other side here so you guys can see it a little bit better there. All right, we're gonna give this a whirl here, see what happens. I'm just gonna suck up some of the blood red we just mixed, and then we're just gonna dump it right on the mouth of the bait. That's where the zombie virus started. And wherever that paint goes, oh, the backside looks really cool. Let me try to get a little bit more of that up here. Backside, it kind of runs down the side. Yes. Good grief, folks. I have too much fun with this. Some people like sports, some people like food. Zach likes dripping blood red paint on a 7-inch glide bait. I do like food though too, I guess. Never gonna turn down a good meal. Alright, I'm also going to take the airbrush, no paint, just air. I'm gonna kind of blow that around a little bit. Pretty neat. Maybe take my little splatter paintbrush here. Add a little bit of splatter too. This zombie fish has been around a while and seen some things. Getting that tail nice. My painting table never looks good after this. Kind of hard to see the backside from my angle here, but I think we're there. All right, this one straight line right there is really bothering me though. See if we can maybe hit that with some air. You can kind of see it a little bit better with that big camera. On the other side. Still got a real straight line, but you know what? It's growing on me. All right, we're gonna take a couple more colors here and splatter them on there as well. I've never done, I'm getting excited and forgetting to explain. Dark brown. I have not done the dark brown on this before. I usually do just black. So trying that on this as well. Dipping the paintbrush in the cap. I'm just kind of going for some splatters. I was thinking the brown might add a little bit more gore, I guess. Or maybe rotten. Alright. Definitely a messy paint job. And then I have done this, what I normally do, I'll take some transparent black or opaque black and we'll do the same splatters with it. I'm going to chill out on the splattering here. We got a little bit more airbrushing to do, and then we'll see if it needs some more splatter or not. Alright, back on our helping hands, the next thing we're going to be doing is taking our transparent black. I got it loaded up in the airbrush, and we're going to be darkening up the back of the bait along with around the eyes, and then I think I'm going to darken up a couple spots inside the blood red, kind of like this big splotch right here. What I like to do on spots like that is just kind of make it a little bit black in the center. Adds a little bit more variation, or makes it look more like a wound. And I just realized I got speckles all over my little camera monitor I have off to the side there. Oh, I was like, boy, what's all over the bait right there? Like, oh, all right. Okay, here we go. Transparent black along the back of the bait. I'm going to fade it up here right on the ridge. I'm trying to keep a lot of that silver, the scales we did showing, so we'll just fade it as high up as we can. We're going to darken up around the eyes, and we'll hit a couple little areas on the gill plate there. We're going to go for kind of darkening the center of that big splotch we got. Pretty fun, guys. I think you should try this. I'm liking it. I feel like it's missing something, but I feel like it's missing something, but there's also so much going on here that I don't want to keep adding to it and messing it up. It's like up close, there's a lot happening. Maybe still got my blood red here. Maybe I can go in with a little bitty paintbrush and add, let's see, what's this one? Add some more streaks. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Yep, okay, I like that. Do a couple more over here, a little higher up. Okay, all right. Stop while you're ahead, Zach. Stop while you're ahead. First time using these mixing trays. Pretty happy with them. Seems like it'll be pretty easy to clean out. Anyways, I gotta pick out some eyes, see what we got in the box. All right, don't have the eyes that I want in the size for this bait, so I'm gonna have to ruin. These are some really pretty ones, but we're gonna go ahead and ruin them real quick. I'm going to airbrush those white, kind of like a ghost white color. Attempt to do here is just give these a real light layer. That way you can still see the black ovals underneath of it. There we go. That way they're now zombie eyes. I think what I'm gonna have to do is let these sit for a little bit and then hit them with like a rattle can clear coat, because I'm pretty confident the second I touch those with tweezers that I'm gonna scratch them off there, or scratch our white paint. But there it gives us kind of a nice glossed over fish eye. So I'm gonna let that dry. We'll let the bait dry. I'll get the eyes glued in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed painting it. I think we're gonna have to do a couple more of these, give away to some friends or something. So I'll finish up those eyes, get them glued in, we'll get the clear coat put on, and then we'll come back and take a look at what it looks like all finished up.